You're probably familiar with the names of Archangels Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. They're mentioned in sacred texts, temples are dedicated to them, and their images inspire artists. But what if I told you there was once another, equally important name on that list? A name that was erased from most versions of the Bible. Today we're going to talk about the forgotten story of Archangel Uriel. We'll uncover who he was, what power he wielded, and most importantly, we'll reveal why his figure was so definitively removed from the canon. I promise you, by the end of this video, your understanding of angelic hierarchy will never be the same. So let's rewind a bit. It's important to understand that the Bible, as we know it, didn't just fall from the sky in a ready-made binding. It's a collection of texts that were written, edited, and selected over many centuries. The process of deciding which books were considered sacred and which were not is called the formation of the canon. It's precisely in these non-canonical or apocryphal texts that we encounter our hero. Back then, there were numerous books describing the structure of the heavens, the deeds of angels, and prophecies about the future. And in many of them, Uriel played a pivotal role. So let's delve deeper into our hero. Who exactly is Uriel, and what made his name resonate so widely among the faithful in antiquity? Let's start with the name itself. Uriel, from ancient Hebrew, translates to light of God or fire of God. And this isn't merely a beautiful epithet, it's a direct reflection of his very essence. Imagine an angel who doesn't just deliver messages, but embodies knowledge and enlightenment itself. Uriel was regarded as an angel of wisdom and prophecy. He was the one capable of deciphering the most intricate mysteries of creation, explaining the movement of stars and foretelling the future. His image is that of a celestial sage, a guardian of divine secrets. In some texts, he's depicted holding a book or a scroll, symbolizing the knowledge he bestows upon humanity. Yet it would be a mistake to view Uriel as merely a benign scholar. The second part of his name, Fire of God, speaks to a different, more formidable aspect. This fire could be both the light of truth and the flame of divine justice. For this reason, Uriel was also considered an angel of repentance and retribution. In some apocryphal texts, he is depicted standing guard at the gates of Eden with a flaming sword after Adam and Eve's expulsion. And according to tradition, he is one of the angels who will administer judgment at the end of times. The most significant and prominent mention of Uriel is found in the so-called Book of Enoch. This ancient and highly influential text, though not included in the biblical canon of most churches, was immensely popular in early Christianity and Judaism. Within this book, Uriel is presented as one of the four principal archangels standing before the throne of God, alongside Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. It was Uriel whom God sent to Noah to warn him of the coming great flood and instruct him on how to build the ark and save himself. Think about that. Not Gabriel, not Michael, but Uriel himself was entrusted with this crucial mission to save humanity. He also served as Enoch's guide during his celestial journeys, revealing the universe's structure and the mysteries of the future. His role was truly immense. Uriel was not merely a servant, but a mentor, a guardian, and a judge. But if he was so important and revered, what went wrong? Why did such a significant figure suddenly find himself sidelined from official history? The paradoxical truth was, his immense popularity became the very problem. Not just his, but that of angels in general. Let's dive into the atmosphere of the early Middle Ages. People's faith was vibrant, emotional, and, shall we say, imaginative. Official, canonical texts were scarce and not widely accessible. However, a vast number of folk legends, apocryphal texts, and various mystical teachings flourished. In all these sources, angels played an immense role. They were closer and more relatable than an unreachable and omnipotent God. This is precisely where the real issue emerged. Gradually, the veneration of angels began to spiral out of control. People literally started collecting names of angels, sourced from a wide variety of, at times, highly questionable texts. There were angels for every conceivable situation. Angels to help find treasure. angels to cure specific ailments, angels responsible for the weather. Prayers directed at them began to resemble magical incantations more than appeals to heavenly messengers. The Church perceived this as a direct and grave threat. Firstly, it diluted the very idea of worshipping a single God. Believers' attention was shifting from the Creator to His creations, albeit heavenly ones. There was a risk of slipping into a kind of angelic polytheism, which was absolutely unacceptable. Secondly, it undermined the authority of the Church itself and its teachings. If anyone could simply find the name of a new patron angel in some book, what was the need for priests and approved prayers? This phenomenon came to be known as the cult of angels, and the Church realized something had to be done. Order needed to be restored, a clear line drawn between what was permissible and what constituted heresy. A decisive, centralized decision was needed to definitively establish once and for all which heavenly powers could and should be prayed to. And that decision was already brewing. And this is where Uriel's story takes a dramatic turn. It took decisive action to bring order to the celestial bureaucracy, and this had direct consequences for our Archangel. Imagine a large company that's become bloated with too many departments and positions, often created on individual initiative. What does management do to restore order? It initiates a restructuring and approves a new, unified organizational chart. Anything not on that chart is eliminated. The Church decided to adopt a similar approach. A simple yet highly effective method was chosen. Instead of dealing with each questionable angel individually, the decision was made to create a whitelist. This list would only include angels whose names are explicitly mentioned in texts considered sacred and canonical, namely the books that comprise the Bible. And this is where the first alarm bell rang for Uriel. True, he was incredibly important. His role in the Book of Enoch was immense. The problem, however, was that the Book of Enoch itself ultimately did not make it into the canon accepted by most Christian churches. It was deemed apocryphal, an important and authoritative text, yes, but not considered divinely inspired to the same degree as the books of the Bible. Thus, the primary document affirming Uriel's high status fell outside the official list. He was a superstar, but his prominence was based on sources that the new ecclesiastical policy no longer acknowledged. He wasn't evil. He hadn't committed any sins. He was simply a character from the wrong book. The stage was set for the final act. The enemy had been identified. An uncontrolled cult of angels. A method of combating it was devised. Strict canonical vetting. All that remained was to officially formalize this decision at the highest level, so it would become law for all believers, and that moment was fast approaching. But now, for the most fascinating part, the moment everything changed. This wasn't some dramatic heavenly battle or a fall from grace. It was, in essence, earthly bureaucracy at work. In 745 AD, a historic decision was made at the Roman Council, led by Pope Zachary. To curb what was seen as an uncontrolled veneration of angels, the council decreed that only 3 archangels, Michael, Gabriel and Raphael, whose names are explicitly mentioned in the canonical books of the Bible, would be officially recognized and worthy of reverence. Uriel's name, along with many others, was struck from this official list. He wasn't declared a demon or a fallen angel. No, he was simply annulled. His veneration was forbidden as heretical. Uriel became a casualty of this standardization of faith. He was too popular, yet his story relied on incorrect books, texts not included in the official canon. This was a pivotal moment when church policy directly influenced the very makeup of the heavenly host in the eyes of believers. So Uriel's story isn't one of sin or a fall from grace. It's a testament to how human decisions, church councils and official decrees shape what we believe. Uriel, the light of God, wasn't extinguished. He was simply obscured by official doctrine, continuing to exist in the pages of apocryphal and esoteric texts. Thank you for staying with us to the very end. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of ancient texts, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our new investigations. Now, a question for you. Do you think it was fair to remove Uriel from the official list, or perhaps you know of other lost figures from ancient texts? Share your thoughts in the comments below.